Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Beltran, and thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We will be having an acrylic paint event slash tutorial, and we will be practicing a few techniques and learning some art and acrylic paint fundamentals. And I just want to say that I'm grateful for you and I'm grateful for this time together. And our number one goal is always is just to have fun and to just enjoy the process of acrylic painting and just forget our worries. So let's get to it, shall we?
First, I did a few sketches of the koi fish, and here are some inspiration photos. So you could find some on the web if you'd like. As you could see, the water is a different color than what we're doing today. Here are the materials that we'll be using today. Of course, we have our canvas. We have our acrylic paint with our primary colors, white and black. Paper towel, your two brushes. The canvas does have a primer on it, a gesso primer to make the paint um, go on smoothly, but we'll add some water on top. That way we're not using too much paint. So just go ahead and smooth water all over the front. Just make sure it's not too wet. Just damp enough that the paint will go on smoothly. Okay, now we're going to start with our background color. And as you can see, that we first have a lighter aqua color, and then I add some black to make it that dark green. Add some yellow. So green and, blue and yellow make green, and you can just alter the shade of the color by adding black or white and, you know, more of either color to your desired shade. So the color of the water for this painting will be like a jade color. It's kind of reminiscent of the photos I showed you at the Japanese Friendship Garden koi pond there. So just cover your canvas with your desired color that you want to choose. I mean, you don't have to go with the same watercolor as mine, but it's totally up to you. This is your creation, and you can paint anything you want. Feel free to paint anything you want. This is just a few guided tips, and you can take these techniques and apply it to whatever you want to paint today. Okay, so there's no rules, just have fun again. But as for me, this is what we'll be doing as far as this tutorial, and if you want to go ahead and copy this, you're welcome to do so. But of course, feel free to, take your own creative license and paint everything the way you want to paint it. Just take these techniques and apply it to what you learn. So I'm just covering all the canvas, all the white spots with the paint. And I like painting in layers, which is nice. A little bit later, you'll see me using the blow dryer to dry the layers. That way, the next coat of paint will go on without blending or smearing with the background color. If that's the desired effect that you want. So if you have the chance, you could pull out your blow dryer and then just have it ready for later when we need to dry this background. I'm going to paint in some boulder shapes in there because that's what I think is at the bottom of this pond. So feel free to just paint in some circles in there. I think I painted the fish then added the boulders, but looking back, I think that painting the boulders would be better. You can paint some oval and circle shapes here. I'm kind of doing it a little bit. So just cover the entire canvas. And if at any time you need us to pause the video, just type in the remarks or something, or you can actually go back to this video later. I will be putting it on YouTube, so you could just click on the link later to go back. Okay, so it looks like it's just about dry. And we're going to move on to the next step. So grab your pictures of reference, um, your sketches of the koi fish you want to paint. You could choose to do 1, 2, or 3, or however many koi fish you want. You could layer them on top of each other, like swimming over and under each other. So you could start off with a letter S or a letter C because that's kind of like the shape of their bodies, and that will help you kind of sketch with your paintbrush the shape. So as you could see, these are the different shapes that I kind of sketched out. I like the S shape because their bodies move in the water, kind of like that. So grab some white paint and start to paint out the shape of the koi fish's body. And don't worry if you mess up, you could always wet your paintbrush, make it clean with the paint, and kind of wipe it off with your paper towel, or you can paint over it. So don't be scared about making any mistakes at all. Just play with the different shapes. And I kind of made it like an S, as you could see. And you can kind of trace like an oval shape for their body if you need to, if that will help you. So there's one fish. How's everyone doing? here is a picture of the water with a kind of like aqua teal, kind of aqua color. If you want to try it like that if you didn't like the dark green. Now we're starting the next fish. So with this fish, the head will be pointed upward. Still trying to figure out myself how I wanted this fish to look. So I started off with a C, curving their tail around. You can look for some reference photos on your phone. Google koi fish and then look at the different images you could find. And I decided to trace out one more fish with the white. So a total of 3. The fish kind of look like a paisley shape. It's a family of koi. So the first layer is a white layer, but later we will be painting different colored fish. So not all koi look the same, as you can see by the different photos we've looked at. So you can feel free to pick what kind of colors you want to paint them. There are black and white ones, gold ones, bright orange, whatever you think will make you happy. Feel free to paint whatever color you want, whatever desired color you want. So right here I was kind of mixing, I took the red and the blue and made like a little purple color, but then I added more white to make like a shading color on the fish. But I think I did that step too early, so I'll probably go back again with that after I painted the colors on the fish, and that will give kind of like a shading effect for the fish. So it gives the fish some dimension with light and dark tones, and that will kind of show the roundness of the fish's body. Put little bumps for the eyes and the lips at the front of the face. As you could see, it's just like a line. And different koi have different shapes for their fins and their tails. First I started with long flowy tails, and then I changed it to just shorter tails, so not as long and flowy like some koi that I've seen. So I'm cleaning my brush. Now I'm going to take some of that background color and then go over kind of like my mistakes, or what I changed the shape of the fish by going over the white. So you could do that. You fix whatever you didn't intend to do. You can go over that with the background color like I'm doing right here. Could layer that and then dry it with a blow dryer, and then just fix your shape of your fish to how you want it to look. So I'm going back over with the background color just to refine the shapes of the fish. See, this is where I decided to put the boulders in, the boulders that are on the bottom of the pond. You could fit them in there if you haven't done so already. I'm just kind of making some round shapes in there. So I took some white, kind of gives the illusion of the round boulders. I think I put too much white there, so just a little bit of white, and it'll give like the sheen of the rock. Add some black to make it darker. Rocks were kind of like grayish, but with the pond water over it, it kind of looks green. Putting in another boulder right here. Add some black to make it gray. Are you guys enjoying yourselves? I hope you guys are enjoying the process and having a good time, and I hope you will continue to paint some more after this event today. Just putting in more background boulders that have the illusion that they're down below or underneath the fish. All right. Hope you enjoyed that Christian music there. Original INC music. Uh, so right now I am adding the colors to the fish, and by the different techniques you can use, a stippling motion with the paintbrush where it kind of mimics the fish scales. Can add a texture to the top of the fish. There's this one koi fish I see that has a red dot and he's all white. And it kind of reminds me of the Japanese flag. So I wanted to um, do a tribute to him because I always see that fish in the koi pond at the Japanese Friendship Garden in Balboa Park. So, and then I'm kind of making like a peach color. So I just go ahead and play around with the different colors that you want your fish to be, and use that technique of using that stippling motion to give an illusion of fish scales. You try the two different brushes if you want. I like the bigger flat brush. Okay, so I'm taking some more white and I will use that to kind of define the shape of the fish. Painting in the pectoral fins. Then the dorsal fin at the top, they're kind of flowy. And another dorsal fin here. And the tail. I think I got carried away with this tail, so I think I'm going to go back and shorten it with the background colors. So I just got carried away, but that's okay. It's your painting, so do what you want to do. So with the colors of the fish, I like to start off with the lighter colors, and then once that's dried, layer a medium color and then layer a darker color on top, so it kind of gives it a neat effect, like a gradient look, or just some texture and shape. Okay, so As you could see, I'm painting over everything with a, you know, white, um, trying to make everything more defined, but I think I wanted to change it up, so I actually layered over it. Um, I'm deciding to paint it differently, so, and that's the nice thing about acrylic paints. You can just paint right over anything that you had messed up with. So I think that's what I did with this right here. So now paint over that, and I'll make some more background color to reshape the fish. So as you could see, I'm just reshaping the fish. I made him too chunky the first time. I'm just taking the background color and going over the white parts. That way I can make him the shape that I want. Shortening up their tail fins or their tails. Now I'm going over the layer with another layer of paint. You can check your reference photos from time to time to see um, how you want to paint your fish. You could take different aspects from different fish that you like and apply it to your painting. Just doing some, adding some more pectoral fins right here. And I'm painting a black and white koi fish. Kind of reminded me of like a cow. So I like that one, so I think I'm gonna replicate that. Taking some of the black and painting in their eyes. And painting a little eyelid over that with some white. Because their eyes kind of like protrude out. They have fish lips and some kind of whisker too. You could add some details to the fins. Add their dorsal fins. And their lower fins. So the fins of the koi fish at Balboa Park, their fins are kind of short and rounded and not so flowy as some koi that I've seen at different places. So that's why I decided to shorten their tail fins. Just kind of putting some paint blobs on there for the different color patches that they have. You can add a little bit of water to your paintbrush, make the paint more flowy, and it makes the paint kind of translucent so that you can make an effect of, you know, water or a translucent fin. So the more paint you put, the more opaque it looks. The less paint and more water, the more translucent you can make it. And you could take your brush and just clean it and then wipe paint off with your brush to kind of create a different effect. So now I'm taking that kind of purplish color and going over the edge with it to create the roundness of the fish, kind of create like a shaded underside with the fish, and that's going to be in a more watered down layer, so more translucent, so it just goes over the existing color, and that the existing color shows through, but it still gives the effect of the shading. So that's what we're trying to accomplish with that. And I'm going over with some white for the scales, just dabbing here and there. And your painting doesn't have to be like totally realistic. Just gives an effect of koi, they don't even have to be koi fish. Adding their whiskers, they have these little whiskers. Then adding some detail to the fins. So just adding the finishing touches of the final layers. I'm taking some watered down blue, very watered down, but not too wet, and then just going over the existing paint and letting it show through. So this is kind of creating a translucent effect for the effect of water. I don't know if you could see that, but so everything underneath is showing through, but it just has a tinge of blue in it. So just go ahead and finish up your paintings, paint the details that you want. I started painting a cherry blossom right here, like as if it fell in the water in the pond. So you could do that. Or draw some branches over with cherry blossoms on it, like you're looking down and there's a cherry blossom branch hanging over the pond. You can add the brown branch with cherry blossoms on it. But then I changed my mind and I scratched that and I painted over it. So I changed my mind, and you can do that with acrylic paints. Just layer right over it, which is what I did. Then I decided to draw some lily pads. There you go. So I made some kind of like a green shade, yellowish green shade. Just blend some blue, more yellow to make it this color. And I just put a white border to kind of like give the effect of the wetness of the top of the lily pad. Then I painted one on the opposite corner to kind of give some balance. I added some white curved lines to create effect of water movements. And there you go. Here's another take on that painting with aqua colored water. And that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this session of acrylic painting. And I hope to see you all again at our next art tutorial, whatever it may be. I hope to see your faces, and I can't wait to see all your works of art. Stay safe and take care. Thank you very much.